Imagine running an entire M&A deal, not with a dozen different apps and spreadsheets, but from one single, smart command center. Well, today, we're going to run a simulation of just that. We use this new kind of operating system for capital to see how AI is completely changing the game for the entire deal lifecycle, from the very beginning to the final signature.
So to really get why this matters, we have to be honest about how things work right now. Let's face it, the traditional M&A process is just fragmented. It's inefficient, it's slow, and it's bogged down by manual work, data that doesn't talk to each other, and huge information gaps. And that broken foundation is exactly why we need a whole new playbook.
And this is the proposed solution, the Synergy operating system. The whole idea is to stop jumping between a bunch of different tools and move to one integrated command center, where the entire deal, from finding the target to merging the companies, is all managed in one intelligent place.
At the very heart of the problem is something called the intelligence gap. You know what I'm talking about. Deal teams are literally drowning in data, pitch decks, financials, market reports, but they're starving for clear, actionable insights they can use quickly. This is the bottleneck, and it's the core problem this whole new approach is designed to crack.
Okay, so let's jump into the simulation, starting with phase 1, sourcing. The goal here is to completely flip the old model on its head. We're moving away from passively searching for deals and towards proactively discovering opportunities, sometimes before anyone else even knows they're for sale.
This slide really highlights the massive shift. The old way, you're stuck using outdated industry codes and basic keywords. The new way uses a semantic investment thesis. That's a fancy way of saying you can just describe your strategy in plain English, and the AI actually understands the nuance. It totally replaces that painful manual review process with an automated fit score that instantly tells you who's a good match.
So this means you're not just searching anymore, you're scanning. The system is always on, constantly monitoring millions of data points. It's like having a tireless analyst on your team who brings you targets based on how well they actually fit your strategy, not just how they're categorized in some old database.
And this is where that off-market advantage really comes into play. The system is designed to pick up on these subtle, real-world events that you'd normally miss, things that often happen right before a company decides to sell. We're talking about personal events involving key shareholders, things that act as these non-obvious signals. This gives you a massive first-mover advantage.
All right, so finding a target leads us right into phase 2, qualification. So you found a company that looks interesting, but now the clock is ticking. Is it actually worth your time? This phase is all about crushing weeks of analysis into a go or no-go decision you can make in minutes.
I mean, it's a question every single deal team faces, right? A new deck lands in the inbox. That's it. The clock starts. And that gap between receiving the document and having a real data-backed opinion, that's where deals are won and lost.
And the process is designed to be ridiculously simple. You don't have to reformat anything or prep the data. You just take the raw file you already have, a PDF pitch deck, a report, whatever, or even just the company's name, and you feed it straight into the analyzer.
And the output? It's immediate. What you get back isn't just a quick summary, it's a full-blown institutional-grade analysis with a clear top-line executive verdict. This is the kind of work that would normally take a junior analyst days, maybe even weeks to complete, and it's delivered in seconds.
So what you're getting is basically a structured decision-making toolkit. It gives you a clear verdict, the why behind it, a ranked list of risks, the exact questions you need to ask management, and even an initial valuation range. It's pretty much everything you need to have that first critical go/no-go conversation.
Okay, so you got the green light, we're moving forward. Now we enter phase 3, automated execution. This is where the AI takes on the really heavy lifting, the most labor-intensive parts of the deal, like building out the financial models and the investment memo.
And the impact here is just massive. And it's quantifiable. We're talking about an average reduction of 75% in the hours sunk into due diligence. Just think about that. It frees up your team to stop being data monkeys and start focusing on high-level strategy.
The engine that powers this is called Synergy Quant. Think of it as an AI co-pilot for your analysts. It doesn't just check their math, it actually builds the financial models from the ground up and then immediately starts running sensitivity analyses and stress tests on them. And once that model is built, the AI boardroom generator takes the baton. This tool automates the creation of the Confidential Information Memorandum, or the SIM, that huge slide deck that is notoriously painful and time-consuming to create. It turns all that quantitative analysis into a compelling story.
So this workflow is basically a seamless pipeline. It takes you from raw data to a polished, ready-to-go presentation. It sucks in all the data, it constructs the narrative around the key points, it automatically creates and integrates the charts right from the model, so no copy-paste errors, and then it frames the final investment proposal.
All right, now let's talk about the final mile of the transaction, the close. This is often the most stressful part of any deal, and this phase is all about using AI to de-risk those incredibly critical final steps.
A key tool here is something called the Fraud Sentinel. Think of it as a forensic layer that's automatically scanning for hidden risks. It's looking for things like shell company patterns, screening against sanctions lists, flagging weird mismatches in corporate registries, and even analyzing litigation history. It's all about protecting the deal from those nasty, last-minute surprises.
The system also brings some serious order to the chaos of the closing checklist. Instead of some static document that's always out of date, it creates a live dashboard. It automatically tracks all those conditions precedent, giving everyone on the team a real-time view of what's done and what's still left to do.
So, we've walked through the entire deal process, from sourcing all the way to the close. But what's the ultimate advantage here? What's the big takeaway? It's not just about being faster or more efficient. It's about building a unique asset that gets more valuable over time.
And that advantage is called a data moat. Every deal you analyze, every decision you make, every outcome, all of that data is used to retrain your firm's own private AI model. It becomes this proprietary data asset that literally gets smarter with every single transaction you do. This creates this incredibly powerful, self-reinforcing loop. Your firm's AI becomes uniquely tuned to your specific investment strategy. It learns what you look for, what you avoid, what success means to you. Over time, it lets you spot opportunities, to see the alpha, that your competitors, who are all using generic tools, will just see as noise.
Which brings us to the final and most critical question. In a market where pretty much everyone has access to the same public information, if your intelligent system is constantly learning and improving from your own proprietary deal flow, what does that make your firm's competitive advantage over the long run?